So, Kendrick Lamar meets the Super Bowl. Boy, was that an interesting thing to see. Yeah, I'm a little late on my commentary, but the subject of what was going on is continuing each day. Kendrick Lamar meets the Super Bowl. He met a whole bunch of white folks who never heard of him, and boy, did it cause division. Really, that's all we every day we wake up is divided. See you in 60.
You good. Don't stop it.
Bass.
It's the show that will get you thinking, and where the topics are hot. Feel free to comment whether we agree or not, 'cause he's got something to say.
Sirwalterj.
He's got something to say. Sirwalterj.
Report live 7 days a week, always on time, but this time is not free. Sirwalterj, always on fleek. Latest trending topics had you jumping out your seat.
He's got something to say.
Come on in. The water's fine.
Hello, everybody. Sirwalterj Jones Show. I'm here. It is the midday connection, baby. How you guys coming in, Watt fam? Y'all doing all right, bunkers? Oh, it's good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. Listen, today I just had a lunch. I had a sandwich because I just needed to eat something because, eating is important for the man to survive. And I remember in 2018, I decided to go out there and Uber. Y'all know what Uber is, right? Anybody Uber? Lift your hands. Raise your hand. Or you lift, or whatever you do. And I decided Uber because I heard about this exciting world of Ubering. All right, I had some bills. I had to take care of some stuff. So I went out there and started Ubering, and I was picking up folks. White folks, black folks, Asian folks, Mexicans. I had a great time. They back there talking to me in whatever language. Every now and then you smell some weed on some of them because I allowed them to smoke in my car and all that. You want me to move on? This ain't the show for you. Just go watch somebody else. We talk slow over here. Although we're talking fast, we get into our content really slowly. So just leave. Just leave right now. Thank you. So I'm driving around, and then I get a call. I get a ding on my Uber app, and it says pick up so-and-so in the so-and-so place. And so I start driving. It's 2018, y'all. I'm bringing this date up for a reason. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. That's 7 years ago. Setting you up. I'm driving, and then I realized that I can't get into this arena. Something was going on at that arena, and I couldn't get in there. I was like a mile away, and I saw 1 million people. They were everywhere. Mostly white. And so I'm calling, hey, where y'all at? And they're like, well, we can't get in here. Uber drivers, they finding it difficult to get up in here. So I said, well, y'all need to start walking towards me. Walk towards me because I can't get up in there. They said, okay, we'll walk until they stayed on the phone. And it took them a while. And they walked over and they finally found me. And about 4 young folks got in the car. I made some good money that day because it was red. If you ever seen the Uber app on the driver's end, when it's red like that, when it's hot like that, you can make some good money. I made more money in that one ride than I did all day long. So I only did one ride that day and went back home and went to sleep. And I was like, what's going on? He said, one of the guys says, oh, Kendrick Lamar. I said, Hedley Lamar? I seen that movie. That's the movie. No, not Hedley Lamar. Kendrick Lamar. I'm like, who was Kendrick Lamar? He's a rapper. I said, okay. I got young folks. I got two young folks in my family. They call my son and my daughter. I ain't never heard of no Kendrick Lamar. Never seen, never heard. And that just wasn't my world. There you go, Kurt. I was surging, man. So as we're going home, they're talking about Kendrick and all his music and his songs and how brilliant he was. I'm like, okay, who was this Kendrick Lamar? So I said, play him. And they put it on, and he was nigga. I said, oh. Listen, whatever floats your boat. I'm you just paying me to take you home. Whatever. That's a hot song. Yeah, I guess. Does he sing Moon River? Does he do a rendition of Mona Lisa? So I'm going through the tracks. I said, okay. I guess he don't do Mona Lisa. I feel some kind of way. Does he do a rendition of Amazing Grace? Is there in there anywhere? I turned to track number 9. I said, okay. All right, I get it. This is for you young folks. I understand. No America the Beautiful. Nothing like that. Nothing patriotic. Nothing. All right. Well, you niggas get out of my car, okay? And so I didn't think nothing of it. That was 7 years ago. 7 years ago. And then so on Sunday, niggas done showed up on the halftime show. Last week, the boy won a Grammy Record of the Year, Song of the Year off of a diss track. Come close. Anybody check on Drake lately? Huh? Anybody check on Drake? Somebody need to check on Drake. Y'all need to call him. Where he at? Is he back in Canada? Somebody need to check on Drake. He needs some milk. So he shows up at the Grammys and he does his little thing, and I'm watching the thing and I'm saying, okay, I see what's going on here. I sees what's going on here. I know exactly what's going on here. I keep telling y'all every time I come live, not every time, but sometimes I come live, I tell y'all that everything in America is based off of color. You was at that show, Chicago Princess? So it was you I picked up. Everything in America is about color. Everything. Everything we do is about color. When you leave your house, it's about color, because where you live, it's about color. It is. Where you shop, it's about color. Where you worship on Sunday is about color, because most of you go to a predominantly black church. Everything you do is about color. And people who say, mostly white folks say, I don't see color, they are lying through their teeth that they don't see color, because God sees color. God is not colorblind. And if a white man tell you he colorblind, he lying through his yellow or white teeth. He's lying. He's lying. Lying. No such thing as being colorblind, because God made all these colors of the rainbow. You understand? So the only time white folks see color is when they see all of the same color. Hence the super to the bowl. Kendrick Lamar did his thing, and white folks were like, I never heard of him. And you go on the MAGA spheres and some of the white, what do you call them, evangelical YouTube channels, whatever, they were like, who is this Kendrick Lamar? It's a shame DEI is working at the Super Bowl. And why would y'all put somebody up there that nobody ever heard of? Knew what white folks were saying. Nobody ever heard no Kendrick Lamar. Can I tell you something that you probably don't know? Kendrick Lamar is a very wealthy man because of white folks. Do you not understand your own people? Do you not understand that hip hop is supported by white folks? I'm talking about their dollars. How many of y'all have driven past some young white kids in a car? Some teenagers, maybe leaving school or something like that, and they got the windows down, and you listen to their music, and it's nigga. This coming from white folks, and they in there calling each other the N-word, all white. Kendrick been around for years. I picked up his folks 7 years ago. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So the white folks that were in the stands, well, many of them were MAGA folks. That's why Trump was there. They were MAGA folks, and they had never heard of him because, and some of them are lying because they might be MAGA, but their children is nigga. They listen to Kendrick when mama ain't home. I'm trying to tell you. So it doesn't matter who Kendrick is to you and how much you hate his guts and all this. It doesn't matter. This showing about is not about salvation. Nope. This is about social consciousness and the culture of the United States. It's about the culture. Everything is about race. And you're going to see it in the comment section. Especially after the show. Them folks are coming over here. They're going to say, here he go again, talking about Donald Trump. This is about Kendrick Lamar and consciousness and Black History Month and how people feel that one event have to be a certain way. It brings us all together in unity. There is nothing in America that we do that brings us all into unity. Nothing. Let me tell y'all something. The closest thing that we have that has unified American citizens is when America is attacked by a foreign land. When those towers were slammed, that was the first time I had seen America come together like they did. The only problem is they forgot that there were Muslim Americans in America. So they were whites and blacks and Hispanics was coming together and Asians was coming together, and they had one common enemy, Muslims. Ain't that something? But I remember watching in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, the Grammys, and how it at least appeared to be unified. I mean, there was no politics. There was no black or white in a sense. We all seemed to be unified, although we know later on as we got older, we were not, because the artists would tell you the industry was quite racist. But we didn't know that coming up. We didn't know that. And we would watch these American pastimes and say, wow, how unified we are. And then there was Soul Train and an American Bandstand. And that's when we saw the division race. And when we saw a black person on American Bandstand, we was like, wow. Dick Clark had the nerve to put a black man on an American Bandstand. And then we saw the white man on Soul Train. We really thought, wow. I remember when I first saw, what's his name? Benny and the Jets. He was young. He had them big old glasses. He had all that gay apparel. All right. And he was performing on Soul Train. And I said, a white boy on Soul Train? Wow. It's before he had all them big hits. He was just somebody, just trying to be somebody. What's his name, y'all? Man, have things changed. Or have they? I'm watching, what's his name? I'm watching Rolling. Thank you, Elton John. So I'm watching Rolling. Rolling is peed off at this this brother right here.
your ass after you posted this on Twitter.
Yet again, the National Football League has decided to desecrate the sacred American sport of football, a sport that has united Americans for decades by playing the divisive Negro national anthem before the game. Now look, I certainly have no problem with there being a Black American national anthem, but there's a time and place for everything, and the Super Bowl is not the time nor the place. We don't play the Asian American national anthem, the Muslim American national anthem, the Indian American national anthem, the Native American national anthem. What has caused us to play favorites with certain Americans over every other race during the Super Bowl? What is it? The point is, the moment you start playing favorites, you inevitably exclude everyone else, everyone. And you start controversy, which we don't need in sports. It's a place for us to heal and unite, not to divide. This is why we shouldn't play favorites at all. It's why we should sing only the United States national anthem, an anthem made for all Americans that includes everybody, regardless of race, color, or creed, because that is what people don't seem to understand. Yes, America has had a marred past with racial injustice, just as every other country has. But our national anthem has always stood for one thing and one thing only. Not white Americans, not Black Americans, but Americans. No matter who you are, no matter where you come from, the national anthem is your anthem. And when that beautiful song is sung, it is sung for every American, everywhere. I'm Armstrong Williams live from Super Bowl 59.
When he pauses like that, you know he getting ready to say something.
First,
stupid.
Armstrong, that was some bullshit that also was filled with lies.
I had to pause that one.
First of all, ain't no Asian national anthem.
Not that I know of.
Ain't no Latino national anthem.
Never heard one.
Ain't no Muslim national
I've
anthem.
never heard anyone.
So how in the hell can you go, we're not playing these other national anthems?
Sometimes it's hard to watch rolling. When we go over to Canada right now and the national anthem is being sang, we are booed. And get used to that, being booed. Even at the Olympics. The next Olympics, when we start singing the national anthem and they playing the music in the background, we will be booed based off of this administration right now. We are never united. We have never been united. It has been an illusory perception. They have given you the illusory perception that we are united. That is a bunch of, let him say it, Roll, let him say it, all right? Perfect example. There was a black girl who decided to play Little Mermaid. And that caused so much problems with these young white girls was crying on social media. Oh my God, the Little Mermaid, it made her black. They made Little Orphan Andy black. Oh no, Little Orphan Andy, oh no, how dare they, how dare they. The Cheerios commercial had a black man on the couch and a little white girl, well, she was mixed. The white wife was in the kitchen and the black man on the couch and the mixed girl, the baby, come in there and pour cereal on her on the daddy's chest. Y'all remember that commercial? And because mama said that the cereal protects the heart or something like that, and the baby, it was a Q commercial, and the baby poured all that cereal on his chest. And boy, the racists came out of everywhere saying, see, the Negro was laying on the couch, the lazy butt, and the white wife was out there working and hustling, what have you, and all this stuff. And it caused problems. Y'all remember that? Oh, this goes on and on and on and on. And man, let's not talk about Black Panther. Wakanda forever. Oh, man, the white folks went crazy. And then Beyonce decided to get on a horse and say, this is Texas. And your daddy, Cowboy Carter. Ooh, yeah! Man, and all of the country stations say, shut that mess off. We will not play it. Let's ban it. And if it was a record player, they would have been cutting it up and putting in bonfires and all kind of stuff. And here is the irony on what Beyonce did. It don't matter about righteousness and salvation. That's not this show. Here is the irony about what Beyonce did. She went back to her roots. That's the irony. She went back to her roots because country music was created by black folks. And they were mad because they had stolen it. Come on, y'all. Elvis Presley. Where you think he get that from? The king of rock and roll. Are you kidding me? Little Richard was the king of rock and roll. Shut up. Keep on knocking, but you can't. Ooh, that's the king of rock and roll. Elvis was still sucking on his mama's, who, while these men were creating rock and roll. It's hilarious. It is hilarious that folks don't know their own history or our own history or American history. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. So this all is a repeat. Listen. Here's where a lot of this, it didn't start here, but it sure brought up something. I can't play it because I might get snatched. But y'all remember this right here?
House nigga, feel nigga, still nigga.
Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that, right? White folks was offended by this. Offended. And then this came on the scene. And oh my God, this is a pre-Kendrick Lamar right here.
You slipping now. Don't catch you slipping now. Look what I'm whipping now. This is America.
That is pre-Kendrick Lamar. It had so many messages in it, hidden in every moment, in every frame. Everything that Childish Gambino did, which is Donald Glover, everything he did in there had a symbol in it. Here is a white man explaining what happened at the Super Bowl. Pay close attention to what he's saying. Close attention, all right? This is Black History Month. This is my Black History program, all right? Listen to this white man. I don't know if he's white or not. He just look a little pale-faced, okay? Listen closely to how he breaks it down.
Kendrick Lamar didn't just perform at the Super Bowl. He made a statement. His halftime show wasn't just about entertainment. It was about symbolism, storytelling, and pushing boundaries. The entire performance unfolded across 4 stages that were shaped like a PlayStation controller button. And that wasn't just a design choice. It was Lamar's way of showing his life as a video game, a journey through obstacles, survival, and resistance. While many people appreciated the artistry, others, especially some white viewers, felt confused or even uncomfortable. Some white folks watched and thought that was cool, but others dug deeper, listened to black voices breaking down the symbolism, and realized just how layered the performance was. The American flag imagery, the way the dancers moved, and the subtle nods to Lamar's ongoing themes, it was all intentional. But some white folks weren't just confused, they were angry. Some were upset that there were no white performers, no white dancers, no obvious appeal to white audiences. People who usually claim they don't see color suddenly saw it everywhere. But why did it?
Did you hear that? People who say they never saw color saw it everywhere on that stage. Everywhere.
Bother them, because this performance wasn't centered on them. It wasn't for them, by them, and about them. It didn't ask their permission, seek their approval, or cater to their comfort. And that's unsettling when you're used to being in control. Seeing Samuel L. Jackson as a black Uncle Sam, watching a show that didn't need whiteness at its center, that flipped the usual power dynamic. It puts whiteness in the position of the observed, and for some, that was too much. This is the same discomfort some people felt when a black man walked into the White House.
Wow.
The same outrage that erupts whenever black joy exists outside of white validation. Because black joy, self-sustained, unbothered, and fully free, has always been seen as a challenge to white supremacy. But here's the thing, art doesn't have to center us for us to appreciate it. We don't have to fully understand something for it to be valuable. Curiosity and humility go a long way. And instead of reacting with fear or frustration, we can choose to learn. So today, I'm grateful for the voices that helped me see what I missed. And I'm thankful for the artists, the activists, the storytellers who challenged me to think.
All right, he didn't finish it, but yeah. Let's see here. PBS did a special on country music. Because I see you. I see you. It says here, Jimmy Rogers, sometimes called the father of country music, was known for combining blues, gospel, jazz, cowboy, and folk style in his songs. The music common structure of blues is called the 12 bar. All right? That guy right there. Country. White folks stole so much that even black folks think that, and there are different styles and there are different forms that come out of it. All right? Black musicians made significant contributions to country music, but their works has often been overlooked. So we do know that migrants came over, European and African immigrants brought their folk music, instruments and traditions into North America. All right? Then you got the Carter family, one of the first commercial country music recording artists, and it goes on. So when Charlie Pride, is that the black guy from back in the 70s? Was it Charlie Pride? When the black guy decided to sing it, they were like, whoa, you don't belong here. You don't belong here. Oh, man. You don't belong here. So symbolisms in culture has always been there. Always been there. And the African American experience is vital to the sustainability of this country and the birthplace of the birthing of the United States. A black man played a valuable part, even in the first war. The first man who died, Mr. Crispus, was that his name? Mr. Addicts, the first one who died, who got shot, was the black man. And we fought in every war and scuffle in America against enemies and came back home to no ticker tape parade and couldn't benefit on the government handouts or what y'all call them, the aid that was given to veterans to build homes and businesses, what have you. We couldn't get those. Y'all understand? And so the ones who don't know Kendrick, it's just best to just study. You ain't got to listen to his music and then fall in love with it, because you probably won't. If you're my age, you probably won't, because you may not understand. But an art form was brought to us on Super Bowl night, and it was like seeing for the first time my parents seeing Flip Wilson. Flip Wilson was something that was celebrated by my parents. Flip Wilson was a black man on television. Yes, y'all. Come on, y'all. The GI Bill was on television every Saturday or Sunday. I think it was Sunday. And all black people came to the television to watch because we needed it. Nat King Cole had his show, albeit a short ran show because of the sponsors just couldn't take it. And we were proud, at least my parents were, because I was too young for Nat King Cole, but I wasn't too young for Flip Wilson. Sitting around the TV because we needed. And then there was Julia, my wife, Julia. Unfortunately, they made her a single mom, but she was a face that we needed on television. And all that led up to the profound historical Cosby Show. There are two Cosby shows, by the way. There's the Bill Cosby Show, and then there's the Cosby Show. Hookaburr, that's from the 70s. Hookaburr. Okay, that's him. And then right before that, or right during that time, he was one of the partners in I Spy, I think. Was it I Spy? Oh, but when the Cosby Show came on the scene, Cosby decided, we know his history today. Okay, unfortunately. But focus. Cosby did something that no black could do in that field. And that was to create an environment for all Americans to see that black people actually live this way. When whites would watch the Cosby Show, they enjoyed the show, but they looked at it as being satire. They didn't believe it, that there was a doctor and a lawyer could come together, have children, live in a upscale neighborhood, and be rich, and send their kids to college. White America didn't believe it. It wasn't until the show went off the air and all of the cast went on the Oprah Winfrey Show when she still was on, ABC. And I'm sitting watching the show, and each one of them was telling stories of how white families would call in. I don't know where they were calling. I don't know how they were calling the production company. They were calling somewhere. And each one of them was saying how so many people was calling and say, that's my house. That's my mom. My mom's a lawyer. My dad's a doctor. Dr. Huxtable is my father. Black families from all over the country were calling in and saying, that's not fiction. That's all we know. It's my dad is a doctor and my mother is a lawyer. And I'm sitting there watching that. And I was like, wow. That's amazing. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was going on. But that was the part that was hidden from us. And stories are told and rewritten. And this revisionist history and what we may call whitewashing happened to us all our lives. And when we were young, the history books were washed, revised to make white Americans feel better about themselves. And this is one reason why the South is trying to get rid of books in which they call woke. Woke is a dog whistle like DEI. It's all dog whistles. Because when the white guys were saying that Kendrick Lamar's performance was all DEA, they're trying to say blip, 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 nigga, blip, blip, blip. That's what they're saying. That's what white folks are saying, that the Super Bowl halftime show was a minstrel show. So when I do these kinds of shows and what have you, and then you go into the comment section, what MAGA folks and even black conservatives and on what have you who think that I'm just some liberal dude, they always like to say. They don't say it, but basically what I hear when they're talking against me, shut up and dribble. You need to just preach the gospel, preach the Bible, play your piano, shut up and dribble. Kaepernick took a knee, and they said to him, shut up and dribble, even though you don't dribble a football. So men in sports can't talk about anything social or political. Just shut up and dribble. So I want to end this by saying, I still will not be going over to Kendrick Lamar, and I'm not going to buy a ticket to his concerts, and I won't be listening to his music because I just, that's not my style. It's not my preference. It might be your preference. It's just not my preference. I can't take a lot of that profanity and a lot of that. I just prefer. But socially, a young man who accomplished such greatness as he did, he is a Pulitzer Prize recipient. Did y'all not know that? And I think I saw maybe earlier in the show somebody put it there. Kendrick Lamar, a rapper, is a Pulitzer Prize recipient. That should say something. I'm like, huh? You gotta be kidding me. So me not listening to him ain't gonna hurt him whatsoever. He is going to continue to be great. He's gonna still sell millions. He is talking to his followers, his people, his generation. Y'all do whatever y'all do. My generation do whatever we do. And they're finding their ways to tell the revolution was televised on Sunday. I agree with Kendrick, it was. And because of the responses that we see, the emotions are coming from white people, all right, it was televised. And so they are dealing with the system the way they're dealing with it. My parents dealt with it by marching, and some of y'all dealt with it by joining Black Lives Matter. Listen, y'all all find ways to join in the fight against this oppression towards one group of people, all right? Meanwhile, I've decided to teach in my Patreon on how to understand generational wealth. My way. I cannot knock a man and his hustle. However he's getting the message across. Even the Apostle Paul said, listen, don't judge these cats who are doing what they're doing as they go to and fro and preaching the gospel, because people were like, these people are doing this stuff. And Paul said, listen, y'all making my chains heavy. He says, what is it to you? Don't worry about what they're doing. If it's bringing people to the Lord, then by all means, let them do it. He wasn't talking about sinners faking that they're Christians. He wasn't talking about them. He was talking about the unorthodox ways of people were getting the gospel. You understand? The way they was getting the gospel. That's a very difficult, I think that's in Philippians. Somebody found it. That was a difficult thing to say. But it made sense. So I am using my platform to bring about generational wealth to African Americans in my own special way. Through Patreon and through the Sirwalterj Show on YouTube and Facebook, and how we encourage you on how to invest in what you believe in. You understand? That's how I get my message across, and so that we can win one at a time, and then each one wins another one. And it gets passed down to our posterity. Lastly, and certainly not least, because I must be cogent because I've had 3 closes already. is this. Ain't nobody holding me back. I work for the bunkers. That's you all. And I enjoy it because it's freedom. And I make my money right here at this table, right this desk. I don't beg the government for nothing. And when they was passing out stimulus packages and all this other kind of stuff, 67 Gizmo dog was sucking on the titties of the government. He needed it. And he could not survive through the pandemic without sucking on the tits of the government. The check came to my house and I put it away. It took me about a year before I even spent it. And I basically invested it. You understand? So as 67 Gizmo is sucking on the tits of the government, I am developing and creating my own wealth here at my house, and I teach my children how to do it so I don't need another race to help me do what I do right now. By the grace of God and by the spirit that lie within me, he gives me the intelligence that I need to be able to sit here and make wealth for myself and pass it down to my posterity. You understand? So while 67 Gizmo is sucking on that bad milk and bird flu from the titties of the government, here I am sitting here. He is watching my show and benefiting from my content. And he's so upset. He's got that junkie itch. He's doing this. And he don't know what to do. He got nowhere else to go. And he's only over here because he's got nothing. And even as we pour in the knowledge, somebody like that with some kind of mental dysfunction going on, they have to sit here and wait and try to cause division in the room. And none of y'all are falling for it because he's still sitting on the government's lap, sucking on that raw milk titty, while the rest of us are benefiting from all of the news I've been giving y'all today. Isn't it glorious to know that we can sit here and watch a fool in the comment section cry like a baby with a junkie itch, don't know what else to do with his life? All we can do is pray for this fool and hope that God will save him and sanctify him, baptize them with the precious gift of the Holy Ghost, then they can turn their life around and go out there and help somebody else. But no, that fool is sitting here, looking at us while he's looking up at Uncle Sam, sucking on Uncle Sam's tits. So when it comes to all of these symbolisms that we did see that I played, Revelation, the book of Revelation, have some of the greatest symbolisms that will help you in life. If you're still here, I feel sorry for you if you're going to go through the tribulation. But it's amazing how you black folks can understand bit by bit by bit by bit by bit of everything that Glover did, Jay-Z said, and encrypted messages, and the Kendrick Lamar, and you don't know nothing about the book of Revelation. I need to talk to you. I'm not going to do it on this show right now because I've already upset at you enough. But how is it possible that you could be so keen on Kendrick Lamar's messages and is dug deep in there and hidden there with symbolism, but when it comes to the Bible, you say, I don't know nothing about this thing. What is this? And so you go back to somebody else's music and hip and R&B and whatever y'all do. I just don't understand how y'all can watch some Netflix movie and you can encrypt and dissect all of the little things and the messages and the symbolisms and the pre-incarnations in there, and you just know that's white, that's black. No, what he's really saying is, and you can look at this artwork. You can go to the art museum and you look at the history of these architects and these painters and and these sculptors, and you can dig into their minds, and you can decipher what did they mean when they put that little thing over there, that little twist over there, and dots right there. It means the elevation of the consciousness of our world is being stomped on by the white man's foot. He's wearing a size 12. You can decipher all that, but when it comes to the Holy Scriptures, you're like, I don't know what that is. Something wrong with you. So you need to pay attention to the Sirwalterj Jones show so we can show you that you all studying the world's devices, but when it comes to the Holy Scripture that will benefit you, so it can benefit your children, you like, I don't want to know about that. That's all you do all day. You is a fool. All right, y'all. See y'all on Patreon, the Sirwalterj Jones show tonight. At 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, we're going to talk about men. It is Men's Room Week tonight and tomorrow night. Meanwhile, there's something dropped a few minutes ago in the finance room. This is what we talk about over there. All right, so if you want some information on really how to survive, go over there on Patreon, the Sirwalterj Jones show. Meanwhile, have a bad day. No, I'm just kidding. Today is a show that I've done several times before. Every time somebody do something wild and crazy, not every time, but many times, it's based off of y'all's liking. These people, male and female, tend to pull you into their lustful ways. Come here, my little pretty. And these Pied Pipers blow their horns, and you are won over. Some of you are won over based off of some of your past that have come back. You all have been. This is spiritual recidivism, remission. You all are going back to returning back into your vomit. So today I want to unpack this like I've done before. Listen, the title of the show is "When WAP," like Cardi B, is just not enough. It ain't enough. Each artist got to go to another level.
Fellas, does it seem like you can't get a good woman? Ladies, wonder why you can't keep a man? Then read The 4 Women That Men Desire, Volume 1, by Sirwalterj Jones to figure out how to break the cycle. Go to Amazon.com to get your copy today.